Hello everyone, welcome to this series on literary terms and literary theory. If you want to study the notes and MCQs related to this term, you can click the link given in the description. We are also going to start our online and offline classes for UGC NET for English literature very soon. So stay connected with us. In this video, we will discuss the term concrete poetry. First of all, introduction. Concrete poetry, a modern term for an ancient poetic type, encompasses a unique form of poetic expression that experiments with the visual shape of a text on the page. While its roots can be traced back to Greek poets in the 3rd century BC who shaped texts to resemble the objects they described, the contemporary movement was largely inaugurated in 1953 by the Swiss poet Eugene Gorminger. This lecture delves into historical origins and evolution of concrete poetry, its key features, and its prominent practitioners, highlighting how it blends language and visual art to create an innovative and engaging form of literary expression. Origins of concrete poetry. The origins of concrete poetry lie in ancient pattern poems, where Greek poets visually shaped their texts to mirror the objects they depicted. During the Renaissance and 17th century, this patterned form resurfaced with poets like George Herbert, who composed poems like Easter Wings and The Altar with lines of varying lengths and outlined the poem's subject. Notable poets like Stéphane Mallarmé and Guillaume Apollinaire further experimented with pictorial or suggestive typography, creating poems like Un coup de dé and Calligrammars that featured innovative visual arrangements of text. The concrete poetry movement. The modern concrete poetry movement, initiated by Eugene Gorminger in 1953, brought a radical reduction of language to the forefront. Concrete poems are characterized by their use of minimalist language, often composed of a single word or phrase, subject to systematic alterations in order and position of component letters. Some poems feature fragments of words, nonsense syllables, or even single letters, numbers, and punctuation marks. The visual arrangement of text on the page becomes a central aspect of these poems, compelling readers to engage with poem as a physical object. The visual aspect of concrete poetry. Concrete poets employ a variety of type fonts and sizes, different colors of type, and sometimes supplement the text with drawings or photographs to enhance the visual impact of their work. Some poems, known as kinetic shapes, evolve as readers turn the pages, creating a dynamic and interactive reading experience. Influential American concrete poets. America has its own native tradition of pattern poetry, with prominent figures like Ezra Pound and E. E. Cummings experimenting with typographical arrangements. Cummings' poem R.P.O.P.H.E.S.S.A.G.R. exemplifies how letters are initially scrambled to represent our vague perception of a leaping insect, eventually forming the word grasshopper. Other notable American practitioners of concrete poetry include Mary Swenson with iconography and John Hollander with types of shape. Emmett Williams, Jonathan Williams, and Mary Ellen Salt have also been influenced by the international vogue of concrete poetry. Conclusion. Concrete poetry is an innovative form of literary expression that marries language with visual art, challenging traditional norms of poetry and inviting readers to explore new dimensions of meaning through shape, arrangement, and design. Rooted in ancient pattern poems, the movement has seen continuous evolution and experimentation, with contemporary poets pushing the boundaries of language and visual representation. The interplay between language and the visual aspect makes concrete poetry a captivating and thought-provoking form of artistic expression. So this was the discussion on the term concrete poetry. I will see you in the next video with some other poem. Until then, thank you and goodbye.